Hey everyone, this is Louis7 and I have some continuing coverage around the upcoming Legendary server in the Lord of the Rings Online, and again I will be trying to fit some gameplay on this on my Beorning around level 30 in this one. I still have to record that. But anyway, like my last video, this is in two parts, and the first I will be sharing just some updated news around the server. And then for the second half of this video, I will talk about what I will be doing to prepare for the server launch. So first off, in my last video I mentioned that the LOTRO Team, or just SSG, announced the release date for the Legendary server. Unfortunately, shortly after that video, they said the release date was a mistake, so now LOTRO tweeted a more formal announcement including the release date of November 8th at 12 o'clock noon Eastern Time, or like 5 p.m. or 17 o'clock UTC if you prefer that time. And they also announced the name of the server to be Anor, so that's A-N-O-R, and it is releasing in just 3 days from now, which is pretty exciting, and hopefully it goes smoothly. And personally, I would love to see a patch including some low-level balance changes along with it, because currently low levels are pretty strong in my opinion since the latest updates to the game. So those were the two big news pieces I had for y'all, but to continue with the new info, it does look like the XP game will be lowered. I heard this from a secondary source, but if it is true, I'm not sure if it is server specific to Anor or for the entire game actually, including like the regular servers. But that will be interesting, and I think a lowered XP gain will be good, at least for Anor. So I also want to quickly address just some concerns I have commonly seen regarding this server, and the first thing is you do need to be VIP to play, and that will include lifetime subscribers. So if you're a lifetime from way back when, you can just play it. And it will use the new trait system, not the old one. I keep seeing that one come up. And I actually saw somebody ask about crafting, so crafting will be as it is currently in game and not like it was back during Siege of Angmar. And then the last one is skirmishes will not be in the server at the release, and that's at least not until they update when skirmishes were released. I believe Mirkwood for that. But anyway, I thought that was an interesting point because that made me think of the skirmish camp and the skirmish camp gear, and to me it sounds like the marks, medallions, and seals will still be available even though skirmishes won't be available. So that sounds like to me you can still get skirmish gear and at least skirmish camp gear, which includes like the classic vendor and stuff like that. But I have seen no direct official info regarding this topic of the skirmish camp and bartering from there, at least until like Mirkwood I guess is when it would have been released. But if you have any other questions, they may be answered in the FAQ, which I will link below, and you can also comment and we can maybe try to help you out. But those were just some common questions I saw frequently coming up the past like week or so. Now for the second half of this video, I want to shift to talking about what I will be doing to prepare for Anor, and to be honest the list is pretty short, but let's go ahead and get into why it's short. So a big thing about the server is it will focus on low level content, which I have done a ton of times in LOTRO to say the least, and I actually really enjoy it, but if I do it a lot I can get burnt out from that. So I will try avoiding playing low levels and doing any questing in the level 50 or below regions in LOTRO just in general the next, I guess, just 3 days really. In fact, I'm just going to try and avoid leveling as a whole, I think. But that may be unexpected to hear from me, saying I will avoid LOTRO in preparation for a new server for LOTRO, but again, that burnout feeling is really real to me in a game, so I thought I would share that so maybe some people don't decide that they would just level a bunch of low levels in a rush as a form of preparation for the Legendary server. But otherwise, I do think it could be a good idea to maybe run some low-level instances the next couple days if you have some characters available, and that'll give you an idea of maybe current state of balance, or maybe how the class just plays, how it'll be playing when you level it, and maybe give you some ideas for the trait build. So another main reason I really won't be doing much to prepare is the server is a fresh start for everybody. And to be honest, there just isn't much you can really do to prepare. Like if you were going to make a new character on the live servers, you could craft some gear or something, but you can't really do that with a new server like Anor will be. So there is one area finally getting to it that I would recommend doing some preparing, and this is at least if you plan to play in-game, in-game being in air quotes because it is level 50 in-game, but I would just work out some trait builds that might work best for you, because LOTRO has a lot of options and you'll have a limited number of points. So at level 50 you'll need to decide what your build's going to be, and if you plan to push the in-game content quickly with a group or kin or something, having your builds planned out ahead of time could be helpful for you. And another thing that really isn't preparation but I think is important to mention is the whole naming thing, and some people may try to name snipe popular names. So just a heads up on that. So this does include kin names, so if popular kins are planning on forming under the same name and Anor, that is something to look out for. So outside of general preparation for the server, I want to bring up that I will be doing a live stream Let's Play style series on the server. I will be preparing for that series by getting like all the back end work I do with YouTube set up for the stream, so I can stream shortly after the servers go live. And I actually typically get home early on Thursdays, which is nice, so maybe I can stream as early as 2 p.m. or so. At least that's what I'm hoping. So that's it for this update video on the Legendary server. It was pretty short, but I thought it had some important updates in it with at least the release date and the name of the server. And I hope you all enjoyed this video and maybe learned something that's useful. And if you did, please consider liking and subscribing for more. And thanks for watching, and I do hope to see y'all in Anor soon.